Good evening, everybody. The Who's today in Sydney were on at Canterbury. The track was given out a dead 5 to start with, upgraded to a dead 4, then finally to a good 3. The rail was in the normal position. There was a strong southwesterly the first race and maybe the second race. It eased off a bit, but then picked up again a little bit in the afternoon. But the wind at Canterbury, the less it's coming out of one direction, which I'll keep for myself at the moment, doesn't affect them. When it's coming out of the southwest, there's no effect on any runner. The first race was won by Soapy Star. Bookies only gave 95% the first race. There was only one race all day we got positive figures. It was in the last. Wasn't a bad race to bet on. But the first race on the flux screen, 101, 95% given in the ring. At one stage, the favourite, number 1, Rampaging, was it was 250 out to 270 into 240 taken at one stage. It did start $2.70 on my board, which I thought was well under the odds. It's fairly limited, this horse, and had the bias in his favour. Leading on the fence today and saving ground on the fence was an advantage, which is generally the case at Canterbury. And out of the 8 races, there were only 2 winners that didn't either lead or save ground on the fence. That was Sedcom, the favourite, and also Capers later in the day. But as I said, Rampaging led on the fence, ridden by Nash. He wasn't able to get it home, and he failed by 0.2 of a length. Soapy Star, where did it come from? It had barrier 2, and it sat behind him on the fence. Got a split around the 2 leaders' heels turning for home, and as I say, just won by 0.2 of a length. Nash ran second. Queen's Elect, it was $3.50 out to $6 given into $4.80 late. And running fourth was the other pick, the second favourite. That was Clever Boy. It's hard to lay to finish. It went from $2.80 to $3.30, $3.40, taken for a little bit of money, a little bit of section, but it was $3.50 begging the finish on my board and others. Hard to lay. And the winner did get to $13, but they killed you for 12 and 11 late. So, and betting 95%. If you went off the top odds, the winner, and it was hard to win on it. Race 2, again, the bias played here. It was stout-hearted. It led on. Well, it didn't lead on the fence. It sat well back on the fence. We all know what happened here. On the flux screen was 101.7. Bookies gave 99% in the marketplace, and the opening favourite, Havana Ray, went from 5 to 4, $2.25 to $3.30. I laid it a small section on the way out, and I was $3.30 when they jumped, even though we only bet 9 to 99 to lose 3,000 to one of the pros. And as we know, Tommy Berry rode it. His brother rode the winner, and he slightly missed the kick, dug it up, and it pulled on him, went very fierce, ran the first 1,300 metres in 78.6, got along, and as I say, raced fiercely, pulled up with a mild respiratory distress. The trainer saying that it was at the end of his preparation anyway, and it's going to the paddock. So I suppose the punters did get their money out of his last 2 starts, but even if it wouldn't have gone fast today, it wouldn't have got home. It led by, at one stage down the back, a good dozen lengths. Doing the chasing was Lethal Arrow, who was $10 out to $14 back into 12. And the winner, Stout-Hearted, well, it's finished up starting favourite. It opened up second pick at $3.10, $3.20. Got out to $3.30, hard to get on a couple of boards, but it started $3, no better anywhere on the ground. And at the 600 metre mark, when the leader was starting to, it still had a big break at the 600 metre mark, Veneray, but it just had to stop. And the winner, Stout-Hearted, who drew barrier 1, he never left the fence, and he was held up for a good 100 metres before the turn, got inside the one chasing the leader, Lethal Arrow, and never went around a horse. finish up winning by 4.5 lengths. If he wouldn't have been held up and lost his momentum at that stage and got a clear run, the margin would have been double that. He sat up at the end of the last 50 metres and just let it coast to the line. There were runners in this race that never had prizes. Worldwide was $9 out to $19. For example, was one of them. There are a couple of other runners backed. Al Barney got to $8 before it was backed, started $7.50. As I say, only 99% given. And Havana Ray was very hard to lay. Race 3 on the flux screen, 103.3. Again, losing figures in the ring, 99%. And again, the bias helped. The winner, Relaxed and Happy, was taken straight to the lead by brilliant Brendan Abdullah. And even though she's not big, she bowled along in front, always travelled very well, and coming to the turn, leading on the fence, as I say, helped to get home by 2.8 lengths. And the favourite in the race, who started favourite in this race? The top weight, D. Shamik, trained by Gay, opened up $4.60 and was extremely well backed into $3.80 at one stage. Started that price on my board, but I got plenty out of it at $4. Biggest bet I laid in this race was about the opening favourite, Albrecht. It took to $4.20 before I could lay it. Laid 16,000 to 5,000, and it was in between runners. I didn't really have any problems. You could see it wasn't going to win before the turn, and even the second pick, Dima Sheik, it wasn't travelling that well from barrier 1, and turning for home when Abdullah gave the leader a kick. He had the 10% right underneath his pillow tonight. There was one runner here in this race, Proper Madam. I think they returned at $10. Well, I was $14 when they jumped. I haven't written its name yet. It went from $9 to $14 on my board. I couldn't find a customer for it. That's about all I'd say there. Race 4, the bias again here at Canterbury Park. Madam Nash was taken straight to the front, set a good solid pace all the way. She was held up in traffic, this really good rider, Mrs. A. Collette, and she didn't get here in time, and A. Hieronymus took the mount, rode it very well. He just let this mare just roll along in the lead, and she was always travelling well, and when they got to the 600, all the others were off the bit chasing her, including the favourite, Umatane, who was very well backed. It was sitting in third hole on the fence from barrier 2, ridden by Nash. And when they got to the 600 and he tried to quicken, it quickened, but it quickened backwards. It was gone as soon as he went for it. It was extremely well backed. Opened up 7 to 2, $4.40. Got out to $5. I never wound $4 off, and I got plenty out of it at even $3.80 at one stage. Did touch 360. Started $4 on my board, and well, it struck the lottery its last 2 wins there. We all saw that. Thought it might have been a good risk today. And there are another couple of runners well backed. Hollywell, it was $9 into $5.50. I caught it all right, and I thought it was well under the odds as well. And it only started 9 to 2, had its chance, and the winner, Madam Nash, it had to get to $13 before you laid it. Only opened up 8, got to $13, as I say, on some boards, which was taken, but it did start 12. So it was obviously a winner for the captains. There were a few runners in this race that didn't have prices. Now, percentage-wise, there was only 98.2% on the flux screen. So you can imagine if you did shop, 94% only given in the ring. And or for a start, Titbit number 2, who never travelled at any stage, the rider said, is now going for a spell. Vet couldn't find anything wrong with it. It went from $8 or $8 out to $14, not a coin for it. And Think Mink was similar, opened up $6, started 9, never had a price. That's about all I'd say there. Race 5, percentage-wise, on the screen for the robots, 102.8 in the marketplace, 93%. Well, there was an act of God this winner won, and it started favourite, ridden by Nash, Vantage Point. He was able to, from barrier 3, find the fence and lead and hold out one Catch Too Many, who was extremely well backed. Fluctuations on the winner Vantage Point were $4.60 out to $5, into $4.20 at one stage. Did start $4.60 on my board. I paid the penalty, and as I say, it was able to lead. Held out one Catch Too Many, who was very well backed, from $7 into $5.50. Into $5 at one stage, back out to $5.50. It sat on its outside. Another run it was backed, Crystal Miss. Unfortunately, got trapped 3 wide outside the lead. And, well, once it couldn't get in, it's fairly limited. And that was the end of its chances. And it was well backed, as I say, from it opened up $6. Did get out to $8.50 in the outer, and $8 in the outer as well, another board. And $7.50 on the fence best, but did only start $6. And as I say, when it was trapped wide, that was the end of it. Runners that, Girls Go Racing, it and Urgent Bells, both of them haven't any pace. Both of them got well back in the field, and we all saw what happened. They raced very tight, and there was no leeway given here. If they would have fanned on the turn, and Girls Go Racing was in second last position on the fence, and if they would have fanned and some splits would have appeared, it would have gone straight through the high diddle, and it would have won without any doubt. When they got to the 50-metre mark, he was still climbing over their backs, trying to get a run on the inside. And of course, when the winner hit the line, Nash Vantage Point, which led all the way, winning by 0.4 of a length from the horse on its outside, once Catch Too Many, and running third was Urgent Bells, only beaten 0.6. As I say, when they got down to the line, that's when Girls Go Racing got out. But it'll drive you mad, the horse. That's the sort of runner it is. And Urgent Bells never had much luck there as well. That's about all I'd say. As I said, if I didn't, on the fluck board, 102.8. In the ring, only 93%. Not worth a drink of water. Race 6. I laid some big bets there, but especially the biggest bets I laid were against the winner. And I had a pooey result on it. Don't want to talk about it. Race 6, another pooey result here. There was $2.10 given about Sedcom on the fence. Only one board. At fluck $2. I found a punter to have 15,000 to 13,500 on with me, and I suppose it's easy now, but it got home by 1.3 lengths. It, and as I say, Capers were only runners not to come off the fence, so its run was most probably better than it looked. Going straight to the lead was Welcome Gold, who is nowhere as good as it used to be. Has had obviously a few problems, this horse. Was taken straight to the lead, found the bunny, turned for home, got clear, had all the others off the bit, including Key West, who got a beautiful suck behind it from barrier 2, and Kiranada, who made a bit of use of itself, getting outside the lead, and Skytrain, who was in the middle of the field, in between runners. They were all off the bit, and it was home. Nash on the winner, Sedcom, was always scrubbing it along, even at the 600-metre mark. Eased off the heels, turning for home, sailed down the outside. It wasn't as if it finished really strong, powerfully over them. It was more or less Welcome Gold stopping. But as I say, not having the fence to help it, its win was most probably a bit better than it looked. It started at $1.80, As I say, $2.10 was given on the fence. Fluck $2 best, started at $1.80, had a very bad result. Skytrain never had a price, went from $6.50, 11 to 2, maybe $7 opened up, out to $11. On the flux screen, 100.2%. In the ring, 96 only. A bad result for the captains. Race 7. On the flux screen said only 98.2. In the ring, 92. You could get 92 if you shopped around. And bay window number 1, it was 13 to 4, $4.20, or say $4.40, same thing. $4.40 to $6.50 on my board when they jumped. Priceless. I got pennies out of it. Didn't have a price. So there's 15 to 16%. It's not even in your book. The winner of this race was the other runner that didn't have a run anywhere near the fence, and that was Capers. By the same token, it was well ridden. It sat midfield, ridden by Corey Brown. Very good rider, Corey. And he was able to get around their heels, turning. He might have actually got a split. I haven't watched all the replays closely yet. It was fairly busy there today, and he was able to win by 1.8 lengths. The second horse was the favourite, Queenian. Opened up $4.60, $5 was given. Only started $3.80. He was able to find the lead on it after a little bit of use early, but you can't take that as an excuse. And it did have the fence, which helped it running the second hole, or hole second position, and beaten 1.8, as I say. What else was back in this race? There was a bit of money. Well, I laid Marinsky Reef at $9 for a good bit of section at one stage. I started 10 on my board. They took $30. Tyndall. As I say, Queenian was $5 at one stage into $3.80. Capers, they bet $7 on the fence. Might appear in the flux screen, but they gave $7 on the fence. Started $6.50. General Sniper was back late. Not until it got to $15, $14, and he started 13. Al's Gold, it was $5 to $6.50, started 9 to 2. And the bottom pair, I'll Be Ready, was 21 into 19. And Flight Command, who was leading the stable now after his poor run today, it was 20 out to 25, back into about $19. As I say, the figures were hopeless, 92%. And if you gave them the $7 or even the $6.50 at one stage, might have been taken Capers, you could have easily lost in the race because there were runners unlayable. Come the last, and this was the only race where bookies got positive figures all day. Wasn't a bad race. Good race to work on, especially if you caught the favourite, number 1 Gun. I bet at one stage an even 7,000, plus a couple of other good bets at the even money. I saw $2.20 early in the fence, which was snapped up very quickly, and the $2.10 was taken, and the $2. I did touch red odds at one stage of the betting into $1.95. Might have even been laid on into $1.90. It was $2.15 on the fence when they jumped. I had $2.10 on my board, and when Nash didn't find the lead on it, he tried to velodrome. He drew out wide. He had barrier 9 in a field of 11. Jumped. It was always going to be near the lead, and he velodromed down the back, staying well off the fence. But unfortunately for favourite backers, the winner, Big Bonanza, was able to get up inside him and hold him out fairly easily. And Nash, when it didn't find the bunny, look, I know it won easily at Wyong, but it was, as I've said before, seldom things are what they seem. Skim milk masquerades as cream. And of course, everything fell into place for it that day. I just forget who wrote it, but it might have been Tommy Berry. He sat 4 off the fence, had complete control, beat a team of trotters. It was well under its right price today. I'm embarrassed to tell you what price, or one, not embarrassed, but I marked it a lot longer, and I stood it. I put my judgment on the line, and I stood it. It was in the second hole. as I say, chasing the eventual winner, Big Bonanza, who found the bunny in the fence, so which did help it, but it did win by 2.8 lengths. Did bolt in. The horse that ran second in the race was Spinrow. It improved a bit today. Came off the fence midfield, easing off heels, getting splits, and it was extremely well backed. It was 12 to 1, $13 out to $16. It started $11, 10 to 1, and got into second hole, as I say. And Nash held third position, beaten 3 lengths. And there was a bit of purr in this race. He could lay plenty of runners. Number one gun, as I say. I was a bit fortunate to catch it at the evens. I was 10 to 9 when they jumped. Mount Verdi, they took 60. In the outside ring, to hear Hunter and All About Glory, you could have got $11 each of them. You could easily lay them both at $9.50. Pitt Street was always 21 firm and layable. The next runner, Monsieur, I suppose it never had a name. It never had a name. It went from $11 out to $16, friendless. I never put his name in the ledger. Under the Corsica Sun, they took $13 off you. The winner, Big Bonanza, well, it was friendless. It went from $12 or $11 to $16. Bluey's Way, it was $12 out to $14, back into $13. You were laying at $14. Kimberley Kid was 61. You could lay at that price. And as I said, the bottom one was 16 and 11. You could average it out. There was a little bit of purr there, and if you laid a few things for the place, it wasn't too bad. So that's about it. As I say, the track played typical Canterbury. There were 8 races. 6 of the winners were fenced, if not led, and 2 winners came off the fence, and I suppose that they might have been the best runs of the day. That's about all I'd say. Good luck, and we'll see you next week. Bye.